just imagining our music playing. Oh, that nice music that we haven't heard. And who knows? How long has it been?
I'm trying to remember if you had it at all this year. I think you had it in the beginning, but I'm not even sure about that. It was the Chili Peppers, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot what took it down. Was it like copyright stuff?
it just sounded
Oh,
shitty.
you just made a call. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, but yeah, it's been a while. Hello, everyone,
Hi,
and
hi.
it's what, November?
Since we last, actually, yeah, for sure, because we didn't do any after Dylan's wedding. So yeah, three
Yeah,
months.
it's been a while. 3 months. Wow, yeah. But we're both excited about being back, and we're both excited about talking about the Super Bowl. Um, and yeah, we're excited to have you guys here with us to
Hello,
listen.
chat.
On this is a momentous podcast for a different reason, though. You know why,
Why
Eddie?
is that?
Because I'm drinking
Man,
beer.
you've let me out to dry at least 3 or 4 times with that, but it's all good. Cheers to that. I have tea, or I had tea. I just finished it. That's so good.
uh,
One day we'll both drink at the same time.
yeah.
What are you drinking?
Well, I'm drinking a McConaughey's, a
Oh,
Matthew McConaughey's
that's dope. Is it
IPA
good?
haze. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This isn't the first
Okay.
time I've had it. I've always enjoyed this IPA in particular, but it's a leftover from party that we had recently that you were invited to that you didn't show up
Yeah, I
to.
just
What the
had a
hell,
lot of
man?
plans that night. I'm sorry, dude. Maybe next time.
Like a sequel to a movie, gentle reminder that Eddie is in Detroit and I live in Austin. So I held a party and invited him, and he rudely did not show up.
That's
Right?
correct. Yeah, that's pretty
Incredible.
much what happened.
Anyways, that's enough about us. We'll dive more into that in our corners like we do all of our podcasts. But we figured today with our pod, we were just gonna have a conversation about our Super Bowl teams, each of them, how they got here, the season they had, the playoffs they had, and maybe if you don't listen to football or if you don't watch football, you don't know anything about it. Maybe you can walk away from the pod and think to yourself, okay, maybe it would be pretty fun to watch Super Bowl this year. Maybe I'll learn. I know a thing or two about each of the teams, and I'll have a reason to root for someone. So I feel like it's the best we can do with so much time that's passed since our last pod, and there's obviously way too much information to cover since the last time we had a podcast. So it wouldn't really be reasonable to try to summarize everything that's happened and let's just take a different approach. You know what I mean? So without further ado, Eddie, who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl? The New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, I mean, is it even really a question? I'd say first off, I feel like am generally less of a hater than your average sports fan. I know that just sounds like I'm like kind of hyping myself up, but like for example, the Chiefs, everyone hates them, right? I don't really hate them, and in fact, you've given me a lot of shit in this pod for maybe sucking up to them a little too much. But there are other teams like that. Like I don't know. I don't hate like the Bamas of the world to go into different sports. I don't hate. I didn't hate the Warriors as much as most people did, but I do have a line for certain teams and the Patriots. I'm a certified hater. I'll never root for them almost in any circumstance. Uh, but I do like most of their players. So even then, I can find like I don't know. I can see both sides, but yeah, I'll be cheering for the Seahawks. Uh, that question got asked recently at work on our our off the clock chat is what it's labeled for anything not work related, and basically everyone outside Boston agreed we're going for the Seahawks. So surprise, surprise.
Oh,
How about you?
yeah. I'm going for the Patriots.
Okay, why?
I just I love Drake May. I
He
think
is
he's
awesome.
awesome. Drake May is the quarterback for the Patriots. And I think the season he has had is deserving of an MVP award, but I don't think he's going to win.
I don't think so either.
But yeah, but anyways, he has been inspiring along with the entire Patriots team. And I know that's a hot take because the average NFL fan that's not living in Boston hates the Patriots. They're America's villain team because America does not like dynasties, never have. And people feel that like it's hasn't been long enough for the Patriots to be good
That's not
again.
the only thing, though. I sorry to interject. It's not just the fact that they're a dynasty. There's some added
Yeah,
spice, wouldn't you
do
say?
tell.
I mean, how many
Like what?
controversies were the Brady Belichick Patriots caught up in? We got Deflategate. Let's do some googling here. When was Deflategate? I want to say that was like 2014, 2016. Okay, so for those who are ignorant, from Wikipedia, the Deflategate scandal was a National Football League controversy in the United States involving the allegation that Patriots quarterback Tom Brady ordered the deliberate deflation of footballs that were used in the Patriots' victory against the Colts in the 2014 AFC Championship. The controversy resulted in Brady being suspended for the first 4 games of 2016, while the Patriots were fined $1 million and forfeited 2 draft picks. Okay, so that pretty much sums it up. Uh, are you not bothered at all by I guess Deflategate, obviously, and then there was one more gate that I'm just blanking on. Can you think of it? I'm googling.
Fumblegate? The fumble Tom Brady fumbling in the snow against the
Is that what it's
Raiders?
called? That does not sound familiar to me, actually. Oh yeah, yeah,
I don't think it's called,
the Tuck rule.
but yeah, people were about that. The Tuck
That's
rule, the
right.
Tuck game. Yep. And then there's a new one, which I guess is as good of a segue as ever. Uh, Belichick is not gonna make it into the Hall of Fame for his first year of eligibility. Bill Belichick, the former head coach of the Patriots, yeah, he is the winningest coach, second winningest coach of all time, the most playoff wins of all time, highest win percentage of all time. He's got 8 Super Bowls total as a coach, player, and assistant coach, something like that. He's just, yeah, he's as deserving as anybody. But yeah, that's just another one of those controversies that is attached to the Patriots. So there's just a lot. There's a lot of reasons to not like
Spygate.
them.
Spygate was what
100%.
I
I
was
hear
thinking
where
of.
you're coming from.
Another
Spygate.
one.
Yep.
Yeah.
The cheating scandal. Yep. So there's another one. Another one. So it's just tough. But no, none of it rattles me. None of it bothers me. Because I'm looking at the team as a different team. I love. I've said it before on this podcast. I've always enjoyed Vrabel as a coach. I don't know how he wasn't hired last year and wasn't on a team, because he's phenomenal. he he might win Coach of the Year. I don't know if that's been released yet, but he should if he hasn't. Uh, but yeah, man. And also Drake May. Like he's really fun to cheer for, and
Yeah.
yeah. And then another thing that's kind of helped this this for me is they're a big underdog. When I first heard the line for the Super Bowl, my guess for it in my head was like I could see the Seahawks being favored. They're playing really really well. They probably beat the best team in the NFL, the Rams. Um, and but they're not that much better than the Patriots. The Patriots have been overcoming some significant things to be where they are now, and so surely the line is going to be 1.5, 2 points, 2.5 at the most for the Seahawks. The line is 4.5 points. That is the Vegas zone. They think this is an easy W for the Seahawks, which is I do not agree with that at all. So now we're talking about a huge underdog situation. So fucking sign me up. Love it. In fact, I have a stat for you. The last 4 point or more underdogs in the Super Bowl, the favorite is 0-9. Have not covered
Over the last 9?
the 9 instances in which you were 4 points or more underdogs spread.
Wait. I think I got
So
mixed up. You're saying in instances where the Super Bowl is the spread is 4 points or more,
yep.
that the underdog is 0-9 against the spread?
If the underdog is
9-0
9-0,
against the spread.
specifically saying it that way.
Against the spread though.
Yeah. Yep. Not
Dang.
outright wins.
That is a stat.
So like the Super Bowl is like the ultimate underdog story. It always has been. Like
These are two 1 seeds, by the way. I think they both went 14-3. So they both had great seasons.
yeah,
And they both got a bye in the playoffs. I guess I didn't think of it as like a David versus Goliath thing at all. But that is a hell of a stat supporting your view. So let me ask you, if it was the same spread, but New England was favored, would you cheer for the Seahawks in that situation?
probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do just want the dog. Fair enough.
It makes for a good Super Bowl. Like I'll never forget the Giants Super Bowl. It's like arguably the best Super Bowl of
Yeah.
all time.
Yeah,
Giants
that's pretty
Patriots.
memorable. That was the first one I thought of as well.
So yeah, man, I also think it's just going to be a good game because I think the teams are pretty evenly matched. Um, but yeah, but then I started thinking about like why does Vegas think that they're that much better than the Patriots? What are your thoughts?
First of all, I would think it's partly recency bias, like as in the last game that these teams have played. And through no fault of the Patriots, their win against the Broncos just looks a lot less impressive than the Seahawks beating the Rams in the NFC, right? Because first of all, I would think I would have taken the Rams to beat the Broncos straight up before knowing that Bo Nix got hurt. So Bo Nix, the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos, got hurt in the divisional round, like at the very end, right?
Yeah,
And so he missed the conference title
yeah,
game against the Patriots. So it feels kind of like that win to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, nobody's going to hold it against New England again because they were like the 1 seed. They were the favorites anyway. But it would have been nice to see them beat, a quarterback and not a backup. Whereas the Seahawks brought down potentially the MVP, Matthew Stafford. And everyone loves the Rams. Everyone loves Sean McVay. And honestly, the Rams have like
yep.
a great defense too. They were just a complete team. I thought they were going to beat the Seahawks. So I was pretty
I did too.
impressed.
I thought they were the
Yeah,
best in
that's
the
what I
NFL.
thought too. And I was kind of rooting for them. Honestly, I like McVay. Uh, so I was really impressed. And the Seahawks are just so balanced. Like everyone, like Darnold is getting all these flowers, and deservedly so. He's been great. But that team is like, it feels like they just have almost a perfect roster, which is crazy. Their defense is
Damn.
possibly the best in the league, which is kind of crazy to say. Like,
Give
yeah,
me
go
some
ahead.
give me some examples
Examples.
of of this roster and why it's the best roster, the perfect
Okay,
roster.
so without going too name heavy, their offensive line is one of the best in football, right? For sure. Okay, Seahawks roster. I guess I'm not going to start with Darnold. We'll get to Darnold later. I think we'll have plenty to say on him. Uh, I feel like one of the defining things about the 2025 football season, from my point of view, like top five, top 10 talking points has to be Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like if we're just talking accomplishments, player, team, otherwise, like he in one season he has pretty much established himself as like a top three wideout, bar
Yep.
none. You pretty much can't say three names before Jackson Smith and Jigba if somebody asks you who's the best receiver in football. And before this season,
Mm-hmm.
like he was a good player. Nobody was ever going to tell you he's not a good player, but he was nowhere near most like top, even like top 10 lists, right? And I'm not just talking about you and me. I mean like ESPN, The Ringer, any list you'll find from before this season. He's not coming close to the top five, top 10 names. And then he went and did, I don't know the numbers, but I know he set some Seahawks records. It was him and Puka that just had like a ridiculous amount of yards and catches and touchdowns. And anyone who plays fantasy knows he won people leagues. So just right off the bat, you got a quarterback in Sam Darnold and one of the best.
Real quick, one note on
Yeah,
JSN. I don't know if you knew this. Uh, he's 23. His birthday is February 14th. So he turns 24
on
1 week after the
Valentine's Day.
Super Bowl. But most importantly, he's 6 foot tall and just under 200 pounds. He's a
Yeah, he's
small
not big.
receiver, and he is not big. He's doing all these things that Tom Brady brought it up in their broadcast against the 49ers when the Seahawks blew him out in the playoffs. Dude, his skill level, Jackson Smith and Jigma's skill level at receiver is actually remarkable. I gained a new appreciation for that when Brady brought it up with his skill level as a route runner at his size is unlike anybody else in the league. Puka Nakua is a big dude and arguably the strongest NFL receiver. And his after the catch ability is spectacular, and then his high point ability of catching the ball is spectacular. Jackson Smith and Jigba doesn't really have that. I mean, he could, but he wins the routes early and also at the top of the routes. He gets open
Yep,
all the
he's
time.
unguardable.
It's, he's unguardable. And it's crazy to think that he's unguardable considering he's not the fastest, biggest, whatever, quickest. He's just incredibly
He's pretty
skilled.
quick though. Like if you're just talking raw physical traits, I think you'd have to go with like his agility slash acceleration and deceleration. Right, his ability to get in and out of cuts in a snap is kind of ridiculous. I don't know if it's the best in the league, but you're right. The total package of like understanding route concepts, understanding releases, like which release to use on which route, the depth of each route. I mean, he makes like I don't want to say he makes it easy for Darnold because that's kind of sounds like I'm taking credit away, but he kind of does sometimes make it easy for Darnold where like this dude doesn't even have to like make his next read. He just knows Jackson's going to break open at the right time and puts it in the right spot. And there you go, 20 yards. But you asked about the whole roster, so we shouldn't spend 20 minutes on Jackson Smith and Jigba.
He
He does
does
deserve
deserve
it.
it though.
He
He
does.
like the kind of season he had. It's something that makes you think about the former Triple Crown
Right.
winner, who happens to be his counterpart, Cooper Cup.
Yeah.
He has never been the biggest, fastest, whatever, but he was a damn good route runner. So him being next to Cooper Cup and then just still being able to have the season that he's had, it's just remarkable. So that's the last time we talked about the potential of a receiver winning the MVP, and he would be the next one to think like, does he deserve it? He won't. He won't win it, but that's how good he was this year.
Agreed.
But yeah, but you're right. Let's. Who else you got on your list of Seahawks players that rounds out this perfect roster that you're looking forward to watching? Let me add that little
I
wrinkle in
don't
there.
know enough names on the O line, but I'll just say the offensive line as a whole is damn good. They open up a lot of holes in the run game, and they give Sam the time he needs. And they're just like so unflappable. I think even going back to last year when they were not as good of a team, it seemed like their O line was in the better half. Or they're just a physical football team, like top to bottom. Their running backs also make you feel them. Although I think Charbonnet might be hurt. I'm actually not sure on that. But
Charbonnet is on IR.
he's out.
He is the backup running back, and now the backup running back to Kenneth Walker is George Halani.
Yeah, but wait, is Charbonnet out?
Yeah, good. Yeah, he's on IR.
Oh, that's right. Well, their better running back, Kenneth Walker, is still one of the better running backs in the league. I feel like you're even higher on him than I am, but he's extremely physical and he's like,
Well, at the beginning of the year, I
oh,
wasn't.
really?
He's come on strong at the end of the year,
Yeah.
and specifically during the playoffs. But continue.
So their whole offense is a nightmare. Like you said, their second receiver is Cooper Kupp, who is not who he once was, but he has all the accolades you could want over his career. And then on defense, I feel like is where the real story is with this team, which is kind of crazy with all the talent that they have on offense. But they don't really have a weakness. That's kind of my point. Is like you can't really run the ball effectively against this team. They're stout up the middle, and then they're also super sticky on the back end. Like their corners are like massive. Devon Witherspoon and Tariq Woolen, they're both good, and they're both like what 6'2" or something crazy. It kind of reminds me of the old school Seahawks with Chancellor and Sherman. The what were they called?
Oh
What were they
yeah.
called? They had a great nickname.
Oh my God.
How are we forgetting this? And Earl Thomas, the Legion of Boom.
The Legion of
I guess
Boom.
the,
Reek Woolen was 6'4".
Rick Woolen is 6'4". That's
Mm-hmm.
disgusting. As a cornerback,
But yeah, that's just to your point. It's like the modern version of the Legion of Boom. Like they're big, they're physical, they cover really well. The defense has been playing out of its mind. Yeah, they've just been playing above their expected uh, level, and then some.
speaking of this defense,
Really fun.
one player that I feel like does deserve accolades is Demarcus Lawrence, a veteran who was with the Cowboys for his
Oh
whole
yeah,
career before this year. Uh,
Eddie the Cowboys fan. Got to give his former players love. I was going to do the same thing for Rashid Shaheed, the third receiver for the
Not because he is a
Seahawks.
former Cowboy. First of all, he was always great on the Cowboys. Also, him and like Micah Parsons didn't really get on, which is kind of funny. But anyway, yeah,
Really?
they kind of like threw shade at each other at least at one point during the season. But on the Mina Kimes show, she was referencing a play a couple weeks ago made by Demarcus Lawrence. It was like at the very end. I think it was fourth down for the Rams, and they needed a touchdown because they were down by 4. And so I think it was fourth down. Kyron Williams is in the backfield with Stafford out of the gun,
Mm-hmm.
and the ball snapped. And immediately Lawrence on the edge pulls back because he recognizes that apparently the hot read is Kyron Williams. I have no idea how Mina knows that. I don't know how that works, but visually you can see Lawrence isn't even trying to get to Stafford at all. He just backpedals, follows Kyron, and you see Stafford's head look down Kyron Williams, and he's not there. He's not open because of Demarcus Lawrence. So then he goes for I think it was like Terrence Ferguson or somebody, but it was an incomplete pass, and he wanted to go to Kyron. And apparently Lawrence just kind of called his shot there. Like that wasn't his job on the play, I think, was to like rush the passer, but instead he realized what was happening and just went to go cover that. And I mean, football's not as simple as one play, but like sometimes it does feel like it's as simple as one play, you know. Uh,
Yeah.
so he's been a great addition for them. So I don't know, not much to add beyond that. He's not like their MVP by any means, but it's just a collection of really good
Still
players.
a fun. It's a
Yeah,
fun story, especially for Cowboys
especially for
fans.
Cowboys fans.
And maybe a reason why Cowboys fans another reason for them to be rooting for the Seahawks.
There you go.
Man, I want to go back to Tariq
Mm-hmm.
Woolen because that motherfucker, man.
UTSA.
If you remember against the Rams, that was a hell of a
Yeah.
game. So the NFC Championship, Rams against Seahawks, absolute thriller. Down the stretch, the Seahawks had done a fantastic job of stopping a fourth down against the Rams, who decided to go for it in Seahawks territory. And the ball was actually thrown. Stafford threw a ball towards Puka, and Woolen was in coverage. It wasn't DPI, whatever. It was good defense, and boom, they lose the fourth down, turnover on downs. Woolen decides to turn around and talk shit to the sideline of the Rams. So much so, the fucking referees throw a flag for unsportsmanlike conduct, which is an automatic first down, and they give the Rams the ball back. Not only did was it that bad, the Rams score a touchdown to Puka Nakua
It was like
in
the
the
next play,
corner, the
right?
front corner of the very next play, which gave them the lead. Like they should have lost that game because of that dumb mistake. Now the Seahawks ended up winning that game. It wasn't the Rams losing it, but man, that is gonna for me. That's gonna go down as one of the dumbest things I've ever seen an NFL player do. That was un unforgivable. Like the next thing that comes to mind for dumb things is when the running back for the Cardinals, they're about to take the lead against the dominant Colts at the time, and he breaks off an 80-yard run. Before he gets to the end zone, he drops the ball, right, on purpose. Do you
Mm-hmm.
remember that? That was the season. I don't remember the name of the. It was the third string running back, but I remember just we did a pod on it. I was pissed. I
I think it
I,
was
I just I
DeMercado.
couldn't wrap my head. Demercado, thank you. I mean, I just couldn't forgive. Like if it were me in that position, and I see a player do that as a coach,
Yeah,
remember
you were
I was like,
pissed.
you fucking, they're done. You let him go. I don't care if it's the NFL. Like you don't make a critical mistake like that. And I feel like Woolens was that bad. They won, but imagine if they
Oh
lose. You
yeah,
fucking let them go.
oh
You
yeah.
have to.
It was a bad moment, and I don't know if you said this. You probably did, but on that Puka play, right after the flag, right after they got the ball back, it was against Woolen. Like it was man coverage, and
Really? Oh yeah.
and it was just like
Yep.
a deep corner basically, and it was Nakua guarded by
Mm-hmm.
Woolen. Stafford saw that and just threw it, and Nakua, of course, mossed him basically.
Oh yeah, it was a sick catch. Yeah, that's honestly I'm not surprised because I feel like that's something Stafford or
Oh
Brady
yeah,
would do is they think about like, okay, was a penalty thrown against a corner? Okay, let's attack that corner
yep,
right away. Or the same concept with like a corner gets injured and the first corner back to
yes.
replace
You
him,
check
you
his
attack that
water
corner.
exactly.
Y- y- Yeah, and that's exactly what Stafford did, and of course it works out. I'd be curious to see the numbers on that. Um, But anyways, that's exactly what happens. Yeah, the very next play they attacked Woolen. They knew he was going to be in his own head. And if I remember correctly, dude, on that touchdown, I remember Woolen, like the coverage was terrible, and so you could tell that
Oh
he was
yeah.
still thinking about the penalty. And then after the touchdown, he was like he like turned around from the side like away from Puka after he made the catch, and he raised his arms. He was like, "What the fuck?" Like it was bad look. It was a bad look
It
overall.
was a terrible look, and at that point, I feel like we all thought the Rams were definitely going to win, right? When something like that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, no. That's funny you say that because I remember specifically, I don't remember who I was watching the game. Oh, yeah. I was watching the game and I was like, I said out loud, I was like, okay, the
For
Rams are winning
sure.
this game. There's
Yeah.
no way when something like, usually when something that lucky happens to you and you get another chance to score and then you take the lead, you win the game. So the fact that they lost is remarkable. Like the Seahawks truly did come back and win that game.
Yeah, it was a super impressive win.
Anyways, that was really interesting to me. That I don't think that's really happened throughout the season with the Seahawks. Any drastic mistakes like that. Um, but other players that I think are worth mentioning for the Seahawks that are fun to root for. We I'd be remiss to not mention Byron Murphy, our
I was
boy,
debating,
fucking having an
yeah,
incredible
I was debating
year.
whether or not to bring him up. He's awesome. You know, I love Byron.
The big boys up front at the defensive line. Byron Murphy is a defensive tackle. Has had I think
That
he's a Pro
dude,
Bowler. I could be
he
wrong.
is so fucking quick off the line.
I know for his
Yeah,
size. Speaking of his size, 6 foot tall, three hundred
he
six
is so
pounds.
short, but he used it to his advantage. He kind of reminds me of another Longhorn, Puna Ford, in that way, but he's better than Puna because both of them are like pretty short, especially for being on the line, but they're really stout
Mm-hmm.
and strong. They're stupid strong and they're fast. And Byron especially is really fast, and he just has this way of like getting underneath the guards or centers and basically just carrying them. It's pretty fun to watch. So yeah, I like that you brought him up. He was great at Texas.
Speaking of, not a Texas person, but carrying. I think Iman Wari is a
Yes,
player that has stepped up and carried the defense a lot of times, and he is a rookie. And I think Nick Iman he's a safety. He is likely, if I had to put money on it right now, I would think he's going to win
defensive rookie.
defensive rookie of the
I
yeah.
had not been following that actually. I knew he was having a good year. I didn't know it was that good.
It has been that good. Another fun one. His counterpart is strong safety Kobe Bryant.
With a K, right? Oh, with
With
the
a
C.
Coby Kobe Bryant. He is going to be starting alongside. But he's a fun player to root for obvious reasons. His name is fucking
Right.
Kobe Bryant. But yeah, I think those are. Oh, I really like Nwosu. He's an older player, but really good. Ernest Jones, both linebackers, really
Ernest
really
Jones
fun
is really
players to
good.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was actually injured for a while for near the end of their season and the first playoff game. So when he came back, he was a huge addition to the defense. And then they have another Job. And I want to apologize to Mr. Josh Job. He's a cornerback. I thought he was trash. I'm I stand corrected. He's been playing very well. He's a good corner. I'm not saying he's the best, but I have criticized
I
him either on the podcast
I
or
also
not.
thought he
But
was bad. So you're not alone.
he's been playing pretty damn good.
Julian Love is a great safety as well. Uh, and also Leonard Williams. How do we not bring up Leonard Williams? He's probably their their
Oh,
best player, right? On defense. Am I wrong?
it's hard to say you're
Next to
wrong.
Byron Murphy. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Really, the defensive line is probably the biggest strength of the
Yeah, I
team.
would say so.
They've got a lot of awesome secondary and linebackers, but it's the the defensive line. Their play has just been over the top. They've been winning in the trenches each game. And that's something I noticed against the Rams
Yes.
is that there was a lot of back and forth, but specifically, it seemed like the line was winning every other play. And against the Rams, one of the best offensive lines in the league, there's a reason why Stafford is going to be an MVP is because of that line, and they got outplayed. The Stafford Rams line got outplayed, and that Seahawks line they've got a lot of momentum going into this game, and if that is a reason for their being favored high, that would make a lot of sense to me. It's because the defensive line has been that good.
Well, just from watching it, not looking at stats, but just from watching it, I was thinking like the Rams can't really run the ball. So now I'm looking at the stats. 114 yards rushing. Okay, total,
Total?
total. There, it's
Yeah, it's
not
not that
great.
good. You
Yeah,
have to
Kyron went 10 for
no.
39. Corum was decent, 9 for 55. But you got to think that's not a coincidence that they probably were keying in on Kyron. So yeah, they pretty much
Yeah.
shut the run game down, and that's basically the main reason why I feel like it's kind of fair that Vegas is favoring them heavily. Because look, Drake May's awesome. I would say he's definitely the better quarterback in the Super Bowl, and he's worthy of the MVP consideration. But I don't know if we've seen him have to really carry the team yet. Granted, I haven't watched all their games, like obviously, but to me, when I watch the Patriots, I feel like running the ball is pretty much central to their identity. And I feel like if they can't run the ball on Sunday, they're going to run into some issues.
Yep. 100%. This is a bad
I think
matchup for
so.
them. But before we get into the Patriots, I think a player that deserves a big discussion would be Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I mean, what a story for a guy like this. I mean, he could be the sole reason people root for the Seahawks is Darnold. I mean, let's briefly highlight his history, right? So we're talking about a quarterback of a Super Bowl participating team that was once written off for dead. He went over. He was who's
I
he
think it
drafted
was the
by? The
Jets,
Jets,
right?
and then the Jets, the New York Jets, uh, said he's damaged goods. He quote unquote sees ghosts, and they trade him. They trade him to the Niners, 49ers, and he's a backup there and doesn't actually ever start a game, but learns a
No,
lot
he was in
from
Carolina
a
first,
QB.
and then he went to San Francisco.
Oh yeah, Carolina at the same time as
Yep.
Baker Mayfield,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he goes from Carolina, and then he goes over to San Fran. Then from San Fran, he goes to Minnesota, and then in Minnesota, he works with a QB whisperer and has a stellar year. I think they also go 14-3, if
I
I'm
think
not
so.
mistaken.
Under
The
Sam
Vikings
Darnold.
under Sam Darnold. But for some reason, Kevin O'Connell says, this is not our guy. We got another guy, JJ McCarthy, who's going to be, the next quarterback that we want. We're willing to let go of Sam Darnold. And I know they're probably thinking, we wish we didn't.
100%.
But Sam Darnold, he's traded. He's traded over to the Seahawks. And this is his first year as a Seahawk. And he goes 14-3, the Seahawks. So, like, if there's any proof at all that in the pudding, so they say, it's in the pudding for Sam Darnold. He's a great quarterback. He deserves all the credit in the world for bringing his team to where they are.
He's really easy to like. Yeah. I feel like in some ways, Darnold is kind of like a modern NFL quarterback. Not talking about his play style really at all, although I guess that too. But really just like his career arc. Like I think the last like half decade has kind of shown us that quarterbacks frankly just aren't given enough time in the NFL. And on the one hand, you can kind of understand it from the team's perspective because it's like you spend all these resources, super high draft pick on who you hope is like your savior, right? Who's going to carry your franchise for 10 years
Yeah.
and it doesn't work out. So very quickly you could be like, well, what the hell are we doing? Are we just going to wait on this guy forever? But
Right.
I don't know, man. Like Bryce Young, for example. Like I've given a lot of flack to Bryce. This year he looked pretty good. Not always, but a lot better
Yeah,
than his first 2 years. He just looks way more comfortable. I mean, he's the same player, right? He didn't get any taller, but you can just tell he's like he understands the game a lot more, and it really is like a much different game than college. And it seems like the more
yeah,
starts that these quarterbacks get, the better equipped they are. So like hell, Tyler Shuck, he might win Rookie of the Year. He's like 30 almost. I mean, that's an exaggeration. There you go. He's your boy. No, he's like 26 or something, but that's like super old for a rookie. And he was in
yeah.
college.
And by the way, to add
Yeah,
perspective to this conversation, Sam Darnold is 28 years
28.
old. He's been in the league. He's been in the league. Fucking, this is
That's
his eighth
crazy.
year.
That's wild. So he barely played in college. So that's the point right there.
At
Yep.
USC.
Uh, like Burrow. Burrow came in pretty late, and he was the first overall pick, but he played like 5 years in college.
Yeah,
So yeah, we can just talk about all the quarterbacks, but the point is like Darnold's just like finally comfortable, right? He's in an environment where he can like kind of play the way he wants to play. You know, he's not overcomplicating things. He's not worried about what the next play is. He understands where his reads are. And yeah, it's just much better. Also, his O line is really good.
yeah, yeah. Did you hear about the Super Bowl media day question to Sam Darnold about? Okay, so a reporter asks, so how does it feel to be the first quarterback of Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, blah blah blah, all these MVP quarterbacks to make the Super Bowl for the first time? Sam Darnold, his response: "Oh, I've actually been to the Super Bowl before. I was here with the San Francisco 49ers."
I didn't hear about that.
Which is
What a
so
Chad
funny. I'm just like,
response.
damn,
Yeah, I didn't realize
damn.
that.
Okay, my bad, Sam. We have underestimated your game severely. And how could you not
Yeah,
root for that? You hear about people like it is ingrained in people to question him with a question like that. And yeah, man, how could you not want to root for that? That's so fun. What an underdog. People
I
don't
didn't
believe in
believe in
him.
him, dude. Like at all. Even after last year, I thought this would not work out so well in Seattle, but I was very, very wrong. Obviously.
Uh, hey, I'm right there with you. I think I remember specifically questioning whether he was going to become the Sam Darnold of old and turn the ball over. But by the way,
You
I should
should.
mention, yeah. So there are reasons to root against him. Um, People don't realize this, but Sam Darnold led the league for quarterback turnovers with 20. This is combining
That's
interceptions
this
and
year.
fumbles this year. Second place, Geno Smith with
That's
18.
poetic.
And so Geno Smith was not very good this year, right? But when people think about Sam Darnold's season, it's like, didn't he like average 3 touchdowns a game? He had a fantastic year, but they don't realize he has been turning the ball over quite a bit. And against the opportunistic New England's defense, that's going to
That's a
be a
good point,
problem.
actually. If they're
So
gonna win, that's it right there. The Patriots, I mean.
he's got to yeah. Darnold has got to hang on to the ball. He's more than capable of slinging it and scoring, but I guess his play style has led to turnovers. So there's that. Second thing, he's not a scrambler. He's really never been someone that makes plays with his
No.
legs. And I think with the pass rush, the way that the Patriots have been rushing the passer and stifling, absolutely stifling some of the best running quarterbacks in the league, I'd be worried. I mean, this is this is not a great matchup for Mr. Darnold. Um, and then, of course, he's going to be battling this narrative this entire time. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, man. It's in the back of my head. Like, is he going to shit the bed? The first 2 playoff games for the Seahawks, he he didn't do much. It was the defense that really got them those victories. They didn't blow them out until they beat the 49ers. But it really wasn't Darnold doing much until he played the Rams. So there's something to be said about the possibility of Darnold's becoming a pumpkin. What are your thoughts on
I love the way you said that.
that?
Uh, well, if you're asking me to call it, of course, I'm not going to just lay down a fat bet that he's going to go choke it away. But if you're asking me, how do the Patriots win? Yeah, the answer is definitely you got to make Sam Darnold the pumpkin. You got to make him uncomfortable. And you pretty much have to expect that if you can pressure him enough, he will make at least one or two mistakes. And that's not like an indictment on him, by the way. Like most quarterbacks will make a mistake if they're rattled like throughout the game, right? Very few quarterbacks can just play a
Mhm.
flawless game. Um, the thing about Darnold, like you said, is that he's so limited physically. He's pretty much a statue, for being honest.
Yeah,
Especially in the modern NFL, he's like
yeah,
one of the least mobile quarterbacks. He wins from the
right.
pocket, and that's the only way he can win. Uh, so in a way, uh, like I don't see the Seahawks being able to win purely on the ground. I wouldn't think, especially against the Patriots. They're really good against the run too. Like these teams are actually pretty similar when you break it down. But I don't know. I think I still lean Seahawks because I like their defense a little bit more, and because they have Jackson Smith and Jigba. They have the best skill player, which is something that I value a lot.
Well, a contributor to the pass rush for the Patriots who's been an absolute fucking monster, at least these playoffs, because he came back from injury this playoffs, is Milton Williams, the defensive tackle for the Patriots. Arguably better than all of the defensive linemen on the Seahawks. Milton has been the
It's a hell of a
MVP of the
statement.
defense.
He has been good though.
Yes. But he has, and the reason I say that is because Christian Gonzalez is the cornerback that you would probably think, okay, he shut down the best player receivers on every team they played. But the reason I am going that far is because one, the weather has been the best defense for the receivers and the quarterback. But what the weather doesn't protect you against is absolute savages at the defensive line. And Milton Williams has taken advantage and has been pressuring the quarterback and sacking at an incredible rate, especially coming off of injury. And then obviously Christian Gonzalez has been guarding the best receivers, right? Um, but they work hand in hand. That defense works in hand. Christian Gonzalez does a good job whenever Milton Williams is doing a good job or the defensive line is doing a good job. So I think I've always been sort of a traditionalist when it comes to defenses, and I always have felt that the defensive strength starts with the defensive line. So if you're going to give the MVP to somebody on the defense, it really shouldn't be going to the cornerbacks. It should be going to someone on the defensive line.
Hmm.
But anyways, this we can use this as a segue into
Pats,
the the Pats and allow me to take the reins
please,
on the
yeah.
Pats.
I'm a little less knowledgeable on the Patriots than the Seahawks.
Well, Gonzo, the nickname for the cornerback Christian Gonzalez, he's one of the best cornerbacks in the league, save Patrick
Maybe
Surtain,
Stingley,
the former
but yeah.
Stingley, both deserving of MVPs in their previous years. But Gonzo has been that good too. He has been impressive to watch, guarding the best receivers in the other team. And he also has been battling injuries and just came back from a 1 or 2 game hiatus at the beginning of the playoffs. But then on the other side of the defensive formation, you have former Lion Carlton Davis, who has had a history of playing really well. Now he has been committing a lot of unfortunate defensive pass interferences, but that's a pretty stout fucking cornerback line. And you've also got Marcus Jones,
I like
who's
Marcus
got
Jones.
four defensive touchdowns this year. He's the league leader in defensive touchdowns. Marcus Jones. So they've got a lot of secondary that has been powering this defense uh, as a second engine. But the first engine starts with Milton Williams and Tonga. I can't pronounce his first name,
Yeah,
but
nose tackle.
right. So you got Chiasen, the outside linebacker, phenomenal first round pick out of
Ellis,
Georgia,
LSU.
right?
I think he was
LSU.
on
Thank
that
you.
stacked 2019 team with Burrow.
That's right. Yeah, that's why the name was so familiar to me. Okay. Um, and then Barmore. Then you got Tonga. They're stacked. I just feel like they're the the reflection of the Seahawks, but in the AFC. They've really been winning them games solely at the defensive line. And then with that pressure, you're throwing against some of the best cornerbacks in the league, and there's a reason why Gonzo got his name. So, anyways, those are my favorite names on the Patriots defense. What about you? Do you have any other players
You
that?
took most of the juicy ones, but someone that has to be mentioned, who I feel like this dude's been in the league for like 30 years somehow, but he's actually like 30 years old. Robert Spillane, linebacker. Uh, fairly, I don't know, fairly unspectacular, I guess. Like first of all, he's a linebacker, right? So he's not the first person you notice, but he's like just a really good player, always in the right spot, kind of the definition of like classic Mike linebacker. Of course, he's white. Not that that matters, but if you're talking about Patriots, I feel like the dude has to be white, and this guy is. Um, yeah, just like a solid defense, like you said. Harold Landry off the edge, I think, is pretty good. Christian Ellis, another good linebacker. But yeah, Robert Spillane was the main one who I wanted to get to. I feel like I've been watching him my whole life.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. He feels so old to me. His name feels so familiar, although he's only been in the league for what 7 or 8 years. But uh, has he
I,
been?
I figured the way you're talking about him, he was a former Longhorn.
No, I don't know where he went. I don't know much about him. Just that he's been on the Patriots like my whole life. That's not true. It just feels that way. And then on offense, I don't want to start with Drake May, but actually, where do we start? Because
Allow me to start with Drake
please,
May. You
please,
see, other than Lamar Jackson, he has led the league in rushing and most yards per rush. So his ability to run the ball on run read options, and also have one of the best deep ball conversion rates in the NFL is is what garnered him the attention for MVP. He hasn't he for the first I think it was for the first 10 games he didn't turn the ball over a single time. His his turnover to touchdown ratio was absurd at one point. Of course, when the weather worsened, he did have a couple turnovers, but that's only natural. There's some things you can't really control in football. But anyways, he has been fantastic for a second year quarterback, second year. Um, and he also has been deadly accurate. He has a completion percentage of over 60%. I mean, doesn't
he
get much
throws
better
one
than
of the
that.
most beautiful
If you're,
balls in the league, which is really saying a lot.
yeah, his, yeah, add it to the list, man. He's just so fun to root for. He's also a very exciting quarterback to root for. Something that you see in a game immediately is that it's electric. You see a guy like that, and it's how do you not want to root for somebody that's exciting every play that he drops back and he's throwing the ball. So Darnold garnered a lot of MVP conversation because of the season he's had and how far his team has gone. So that is a good reason to root for him and the Patriots.
You said
But
Darnold,
hey,
but I think you meant May.
Thanks. Yeah, man. This is the quarterback I'm rooting for. I love Darnold's story, but man, May is he's fun to
If
watch.
we are asking which quarterback do I like watching more, it's obviously Drake May. I mean, come on, he's just way more dynamic.
Yeah,
Like everything you just said. Like for all the flowers we're giving Darnold, and they're well deserved. Again, like May can do all of that and a lot more at the same time. He's not limited basically by being contained in the pocket. If the play breaks down, Drake May can make you hurt.
and he's doing it with not he's not doing it with a Jackson Smith and Jigba, a
That's what I was.
Cooper Cup, a Rashid Shaheed. The receivers are
Yeah,
mid.
they're
Stephon Diggs has
they're
disappeared.
not great.
Stephon Diggs, if you want to root for Stephon Diggs because of Cardi B, go for it. They got a relationship. That's great. Who knows how many times they're going to be showing Cardi B on screen during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there won't be a Taylor.
But he hasn't been a very good football player. He's disappeared. He's got a huge controversy behind him. Then you've got Kendrick Bourne, who has been their best receiver, relatively speaking, stats wise. But is he one of the top 20 receivers in the league? No, he's not. Then you've got Kyle Williams, a rookie. They're a tight
I like
end
Kyle
team.
Williams,
Their
but yeah,
best
he's a
receiver.
rookie. He's not ready for prime time.
Right. The team that make the players that make this offense difficult to guard is that Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry have been the Kmart version of Gronk and Aaron Hernandez that has made the offense overall just very difficult to guard. So you can tell that Mike Vrabel, the coach for the Patriots, he's developed a system that is dependent on its veterans, and Drake May just relying on its veterans. So I think it's even more remarkable what May has done, considering that Vrabel has organized the team to be more centered around its older players.
It's a veteran squad for sure.
And yeah. Then you've got. Would you consider Ramondre Stevenson, the running back for the Patriots, a veteran?
Yeah, I would, especially because he's running back.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like the playoff experience of some of these other guys, but he's been in the NFL for like what 5 or 6 years. Um, quickly on the receivers, because I was gonna pretty much say the same thing. How like if we're talking playoff teams, the Patriots receivers, it's in contention for like the worst group, if we're being honest. So you pretty much we're in
Yeah.
agreement there. Stephon Diggs is what, like 33. Not someone you want to rely on. I would push back a tiny bit though. I think there's one name who's worth mentioning who does lift up that room a little bit.
Ooh, I know who you're
Keyshawn
going to say.
Boutte.
Continue.
He's actually a pretty damn good receiver. Uh, again, not someone you want as your receiver one by any stretch. But there are games where he looks way better than Stephon Diggs. And one thing's for sure is he's like a lot less of a knucklehead than Diggs is. So if they need a play downfield and Diggs is like throwing a tantrum, throwing his helmet on the sideline, probably we're looking at Booty, would be my guess. But yeah, ultimately, I land on the same side as you. And that's kind of why I felt like the Seahawks should be favored is like, if we compare skill rooms, it's not really that close at all, right, between the teams. And even though Drake May is like way better than Sam Darnold, I think the rest of the roster balances it out a little bit. But then, yeah, running backs. Stevenson This is probably his best year in the NFL, I would think. There was maybe it was like 2022 where he had that other one big year, but he's thrived this year.
Yeah, so I want to mention with Stevenson, he started the year with a huge fumbling
Yeah,
problem that was really frustrating a lot of Patriots fans and fantasy football owners because obviously you have the spark plug right behind him, Travion Henderson, the rookie, but specifically Stevenson has been the best back on the team, and Vrabel gave him a chance. He has been fumbled. He was averaging a fumble for his first 5 games.
that's
That's pretty
horrible,
bad.
actually.
Most teams would bench
Yep,
you
I would.
immediately, and you don't come back if you're that bad. But Vrabel stuck with him. He's a good coach that says, "Look, Stevenson's the best running back on our team. We can't trust our rookie." So he stuck with him all year. There's an injury here and there, but the rewards are obvious. They're undeniable. Stevenson is clearly he's had a great year even after that problem. So yeah, it's worth mentioning.
What's crazy is like Stevenson is clearly the better back, and yet I feel like Henderson still brings so much value, and together they kind of make each other better because they really complement each other really well. Henderson, the rookie, a lot faster, obviously, a lot more dynamic in space, and he's more of a home run hitter. Whereas Stevenson, not as fast, but definitely explosive still, a lot heavier. He's going to do all the short yardage, but he also has some make you miss in the phone booth as well. Like if he makes one guy miss at the line of scrimmage, he might pick up 20 chunk yards. So it's a really dynamic running back room, and I honestly feel like they don't utilize enough two running back sets for how good these two guys are. Because Henderson also had games this year where he put up like over 100 yards, just looked incredible. Uh, so they both got to get their touches, and the concern is just like if they're not able to run the ball, now what? Like I've said already, like 5 times. So we'll definitely be interested to see what the plan of attack is for this offense for Josh McDaniels, who I don't like, but he's a good coach, unfortunately.
The offensive
Yeah,
coordinator. Yeah. Um. Well, see, okay. On paper, then everything we've just described, genuinely now, 4.5 points seems about
right.
right. Right? Like, but this is totally based on the roster. But let's think about the seasons these teams have had. Right? Let's think about the Patriots. Like, who would you say is the best team they've beaten this year?
The Patriots. Can I look at their schedule?
Mm-hmm.
I know they haven't. No,
No,
okay. I know they have a weak
I'm
schedule.
kidding.
I know that, and we talked about it in the beginning of the year. Uh,
Yeah, they're getting clowned for beating nobodies all year, which is worth mentioning,
and
right?
not
If you're trying to make a
yeah,
determination,
not counting playoffs,
to
obviously.
root for.
Oh man, it really is bad. Holy I guess their best win is
Is it the Bills?
it's either the Bills or the Bengals, maybe the Ravens
Not even
or the
say that.
Bucks, and none of those teams made the playoffs. Did they not beat a single playoff team in the regular season?
Not including the Bills.
Oh, of course they did make the playoffs. What am I saying? I forgot about that. Okay, so it is.
They beat the Panthers. They blew out the Panthers.
Oh, that didn't even register. You're right. I forgot about them too. They made the playoffs.
Okay,
It's
so
the
but the
Bills.
story here is their best win was the Bills, who got spanked by
Broncos, right?
the Broncos, whom the Patriots beat. That's okay. So the best win the Patriots have had are the Bills, and this is a year where the Bills suddenly came back down to earth, and the Bills were so bad they actually the Bills fired their longtime coach because you might even say their biggest rival is the Patriots, and they weren't able to beat them. So this is a year for the Patriots to be the best team they could be in a division that, let's face it, not very good. The Jets in their division, the Dolphins in their division, and the Patriots blew out the Dolphins. They blew out the Jets, and they beat the Bills once. They lost to the Bills once. But overall, very weak schedule. They have not played a whole lot of good teams. And then if you're going to look at their playoff wins, they beat a good Chargers team with a good defense, not a very good offensive line. They beat a generationally good defensive Texans team with a terrible
Awful,
quarterback.
awful offense.
And then they got a gift from the weather and Sean Payton decision making against the Broncos. The Patriots beat the Broncos in a 10-7 absolute slugfest in the
Without the
mud
Broncos starting quarterback.
without Bo Nix. All that worth considering. Definitely think about that. All right, now let's go over to the Seahawks, the season in review. Who do you think the Seahawks' best wins was?
I mean, it's got to be
this
the
year,
Rams.
not including the playoffs.
They split the regular season against the Rams, so that's already a pretty good start.
And by the way, that win against the Rams, it was an OT thriller. I
Yeah,
watched that game. I don't know if you got a chance to watch that game.
I
Fucking
do remember that
phenomenal.
game.
It was
Yeah,
38-37 OT win by the Seahawks, and both Stafford and Darnold had absolute bangers of games. It was so fun to watch.
they beat the Niners. They split with the Niners as well, actually. Okay,
Well, see okay, but I'm glad you brought that up because the division that they were
hardest.
in, the top three teams, all were like, oh, they could win the division. The fact that you're even having that conversation is remarkable because the Niners as well. You have to consider going into the season, they were not projected to be even close to the division favorites,
Right.
right? But good coaching, Brock Purdy playing really well. Niners ended up being a contender, but the Seahawks were just better, as you can see in the divisional round. The Seahawks blew out their division rivals 41-6. I mean, it was not even close. So, but anyways, back to the regular season. Their best win, yeah, you got to go with the Rams. But let me rattle off some of the teams they beat. They beat, and I'm just going to go off the dome in terms of best teams. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Saints. They beat the Steelers, division winners, Steelers. They beat the Jaguars, division winners. They beat the Texans in the regular season. They weren't division winners, but they might as well have been.
They're a playoff
considering
team.
their skill. Yeah, they're a playoff team. Thank you. They beat the Falcons. I say the Falcons because as the NFC South, they have had a lot of really good wins and a lot of bad losses. So they're just a weird team that, for whatever reason, most teams in the NFL had a hard time beating. Anyways, the Colts. They had Daniel Jones. They were 8-1 at one point. And then Phillip Rivers, the GOAT this year.
Go.
45-year-old quarterback, former coach of a high school football team, says, hey, I'm going to come play football for the Colts. They hire him the week he tries out, has a noodle arm, and leads them to, one victory? But anyways, the Colts were looking to be a pretty good team, and the Seahawks beat them. They beat the Rams. They beat the Panthers, another playoff team. They beat the 49ers, a playoff. It is obvious the Seahawks had a substantially better regular season. Statement wins in the playoffs against the Niners, against the Rams, the best team in the division in the country. So,
I like how you're still calling them that.
dude,
Respect.
I know. But we can't give enough respect to the Rams and the Seahawks because I want to point out we're not sitting here bitter that the Seahawks beat the Rams. The Seahawks fucking they beat them. Like this wasn't a luck thing,
No, they were better.
right?
Dead ass.
They were just
Yeah.
the better team that year. That day.
And they played 3 times this year. So they won twice. It checks out.
You know how hard it is to beat a team
It's
twice
very hard. Especially the
in
best
one
team in
year.
the country. But no, you're right. Because anytime you have a rematch, the loser tends to benefit a little bit more than the winner because they have
Right.
more obvious areas to improve on to change the game plan. So yeah, it's extremely difficult.
Right. Well, you put it out this, you lay it all out like this. 4.5
Seems
seems about
reasonable,
right.
I think.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Well, with all this said, dude, what do you think? You like your pick?
I didn't make a pick.
You
I
rooting
just
for
said I
the?
think I agree with the spread.
Okay. Okay. Then you know what? Let me just ask you straight up. Then give me your pick to win, and give me your pick against the spread.
Um, I just have to give you one pick because I think I'm going with the Patriots, even though I'm cheering for the Seahawks. And even though all the logic tells me the Seahawks are the better team, a few things go into this. Number one, I've had like my worst year of any like sort of football related things. My fantasy teams were total duds, and a lot of my takes just did not pan out. And so I feel like I'm going to hedge and just go with what my gut tells me is wrong. But then there's also the fact that I'm pretty sure God is a Patriots fan. So I really don't want to be get put on any lists. I don't want to be cursed
Oh
or
my
smited by
god.
anyone. I'm ready to embrace my New England overlords.
God, that is hilarious.
What about you?
Well, I alluded to it a little bit, but yeah, I'm going with the Patriots. I love a good underdog story, and it's hard to go against that stat that
That's
I
a crazy
started with the
stat. Yeah.
podcast with. 4.5 points is just too many damn points. Can't do that in the Super Bowl.
In
Too
this
much emotion
football
to be putting
climate,
that many points on. Uh huh. Haven't they learned with the undefeated Patriots and the Giants? Why would they think that's a good idea to put that many points on somebody?
I don't
It's
know, man.
crazy.
Sounds like an opportunity to make some money. No, I'm just kidding.
Speaking of opportunities to make some money, I want to briefly spend a little time on some fun novelty props this year. I want to put them up. I want to bring them up to you. I want to hear your thoughts on what you think you're gonna if you would bet on it or not. Right? Okay. Uh, the singer of the national anthem is Charlie Puth.
Okay.
The prop bet is the length of the national anthem in seconds is 124 seconds. Know anything about that?
Are you asking me to pick over under?
Sure. Do you care about that bet?
I wouldn't bet on it, but if I was forced to, I would
No.
say under.
We'll move on. What about the color of the Gatorade that's dumped on the
Ooh, I
winning
like
head
that one.
coach? Blue, orange, or any other color? Which one would you bet on?
Damn, that's hard. Give me the any other color. I'll take the field.
Craven. Um,
I was picturing yellow, so yellow or red.
okay, here's another uh, prop. All right, who do you think will score first? And would you bet on
I
it?
would definitely not bet on this, like in any game. But if I had to, I think I would say Patriots. Logical. That's my pick
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
But that's not a bet.
Who do you
I'll
think the
never. Sorry, I'll never make that bet in any game. I promise. That's a losing bet. Go ahead.
do you think the jersey number of the player that scores first for either team, is it going to be less than 11 and a half or greater than 11 and a half? I guess this requires you to know the jersey numbers of the
Yeah,
scoring
I
players.
have an idea
Yeah.
because if you go lower, you get Diggs, you get Kenneth Walker. I think you get Drake May if he rushes, right?
He
But you
rushes
don't get
only.
Darnold if he rushes. I guess that doesn't matter. You said
So you're really
you said
trying to
11
get
and a half? Oh yeah,
11
give
and a
me the
half.
under because then you get Jackson as well, right?
Jackson Smith and
Yeah.
Jacobs
So
11, right?
then I'd take the under. Jackson plus Kenneth Walker plus Stephon Diggs. Yeah, I'd like that one.
Well, what number is Kayshawn Beauty?
I think he's also a single digit, actually. I didn't even consider that.
I remember specifically confusing Diggs
Yeah,
and
because they're both
Booty.
single. So you're right. He's 9, and then Diggs, I think he's 8. Yeah. So you get a lot of players. So really, you're just hoping that it's not one of the Patriots running backs or like a tight end or
All right.
yeah,
Coin toss. Heads or tails?
heads.
That's a
Yeah,
tough one. The odds are literally identical. How many, if a quarterback's going to throw an interception, which quarterback will it be? The
Darnold.
first one. Darnold, yeah. What about a fumble?
Darnold.
Dang. Boy, yeah. Numbers say that that is the case, right?
That one I could see a reason to put Drake May, but I'd still go Darnold.
Will there be a defensive or special teams touchdown this game?
I feel like yes. I feel like Super Bowls tend to have some kind of wild play usually, or just big games in general. So yeah, I would say yeah.
Well, the odds are saying minus 330 for no.
Well, that makes sense. They're pretty rare. I'm just assuming the odds are like baked in.
Yeah. Okay. What about longest field goal? Um, hang on. Let me get that number for you. I thought I had it. Longest field goal. That was not what I thought it would be. Mm, we're just gonna skip that because I thought I don't have that stat readily available. Okay. What about Super Bowl MVP? Who you got?
Drake May.
Drake May. You don't think this is a potential for the loser to have the MVP?
You that's happened like once, right?
Yeah, once ever. I believe it. I'm not sure.
No, I mean no. It has to be once in a lifetime type of thing for that. Would you bet on that?
Yeah. No.
Maybe if it's like I don't know plus something crazy plus 100,000.
All right. what about? Well, okay. I'm gonna read off the favorites for MVP. Number one favorite, Sam Darnold. Makes sense. They're favored to win. Drake May, Jackson Smith and
Yep.
Jigba. There is precedent for the receivers to win the reward, for the receivers to win the award. Kenneth Walker is next. Ramondre Stevenson. Rashid Shaheed is
Oh wow.
above Stephon Diggs.
What?
Yeah,
That's weird.
yeah. Marcus Jones right below Stephon Diggs. Trevion Henderson, Cooper Cup, Nickham and Worry, and then yeah, it's crap we don't care about after that.
It's a weird list. Just take the quarterback.
Yeah, that yeah. You don't want to waste your money
You
that
could
with that
put
one
JSN, but it's a flyer.
at best. Okay, I have a weird. Okay, the first touchdown of the game. Bad Bunny, Jake Bobo, Kenneth Walker, Stephon Diggs, Kevin Booty, and Collar, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Trevion Henderson, D Young will score the first TD. Two of those names I've never even heard of. Yes, for minus 130, scores one touchdown. First touchdown, the field, no. Plus 100.
Yes, why not? That feels like a coin flip
Hell
too.
yeah, dog. That is fucking random as shit.
That's a
Not gonna lie to
degenerate
you.
bet right there. If we're being honest.
You gonna be doing any betting in the Super Bowl?
Uh, maybe I haven't really bet all season, but yeah, I guess I might as well just do one. But I like some of these ideas. Like you mentioned Bad Bunny. Can I bet on him in any way?
Maybe. You'll probably have a different sports book than me.
Yeah, I'll probably be on FanDuel.
Oh, I found the longest field goal bet. Over under 49 and a half.
Over.
Over. That was fast. It's the odds are split exactly down the middle. One minus 115 for both.
Seems fair.
That means they don't know. They have no idea. Shortest field goal, 27 and a half. Bunch of
Over.
cowards if you're going under.
You got to go
Yeah, you
over.
gotta go over. Yeah. Agreed. Um yeah, dude. Well, I can go on all night with all
Yeah,
these
these are
prop
cool.
bets, but well, what do you say we call it a pod and then we do some corners. It's
Let's
been
do
a
it.
minute. Hell yeah. You want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. Okay, 3 months. Wow. Um, yeah. So I thought about. I mentioned to you before we started recording. I think about pickleball. I thought about making it pickleball, but I haven't played quite enough yet. Actually, that's a bad reason because what I'm going to say, I've done even less. Anyway, I did start playing pickleball a little bit, and I'm still contemplating a membership because it's fucking 5 feet of snow out constantly here, so I can't really play outside. But anyway,
Is that right?
yeah, it hasn't melted like
Sheesh.
at all, and it just keeps piling more and more. It's been a crazy winter. Anyway, um, it won't be about pickleball. That's the side, I guess. My side corner is pickleball. It's pretty fun. I bought a paddle. Over the weekend, I did a speed puzzling competition with Jamie. Not a
Speed.
speed puzzle, yeah, like a jigsaw
Okay.
puzzle, except you're timed, and the goal is to beat everyone else, or at least just go as fast as you can to complete the jigsaw puzzle. So we drove up to Flint, Michigan, home of the Flint, Michigan tropics. Yeah,
Flint.
where Jackie Moon lives. It's about an hour away. It was cool. it was the host of this speed puzzling tournament, and there was different like categories. So she did all of them. So it was single, pairs, relay, and teams. So she did no, she didn't do all of them. She did all of them except relay, which we weren't really sure what that was. But basically, you hand off the puzzle, so you can't work on it at the same time. She did pretty well, and then we did the pairs, and we beat our goal, which was like 45 minutes. We did that in like 30 minutes, which is pretty good. I'm
Dang,
trying to remember what.
sounds good.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised because we didn't practice that much. I mean, she does puzzles like as a hobby. Like she constantly has one that she's working on. I'll occasionally do some pieces here and there, but it's not a shared hobby really. But she just wanted some support, and I figured why the heck not? It's not like I don't know. It didn't seem like it would be any kind of pressure, right? But then the clock started, and I suddenly got started feeling a little competitive. I feel like that's inevitable, I guess. But it was cool. And then we did the team one as well with two strangers. They were an older couple, and it was kind of the same dynamic where like the wife was really into it, and the husband was kind of just there hanging out, supporting. That one, I don't remember. That one was like a bunch of cats with some yarn and stuff. I don't know. It was cool. And then there was also like an exchange where you had to like enter, but if you registered for the exchange, you like bring a puzzle or as many puzzles as you want, and it's just like you take one and leave one, and everyone goes home with a new puzzle. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
very
cool.
random. I've never done it before, but yeah, it was fun. It was just like a pretty chilled date, but also like yeah, like fun. It was like a competition, right? And I like competing in pretty much anything, even if I'm bad. So we enjoyed it, and we'll probably do it again. She's done a few with like her mom too. She's even done online tournaments with her mom. So they're pretty cool. Like
Damn,
it's their actual
that's
hobby. Yeah.
intense.
And they're really good. I I was just there to hang out and help her complete a puzzle. I'm honestly really bad at puzzling because I don't really do it. But I quickly realized a good strategy for me, especially in the pairs, was like just basically sort the pieces. So like if there's like a one red section, just sort the reds. It sounds super obvious, right?
I do
Yeah.
the same.
But we had a little bit of a strategy, I guess. So like the first thing was she does the border. So any border pieces I saw, I just threw her away, and then she did the outline. And then after that, we were kind of just vibing, and I was just like trying to figure out what's the easiest thing that I could focus on. But yeah, it's like really satisfying. That's the word that I'm looking for. Once you're done, it's so satisfying. It's not like chess for me. Like I love chess because like I can figure it
Whoa,
out.
that's big coming from Eddie, by the
I
way.
said it's not. It's not
Not
like
like
chess.
chess. Yeah,
Yeah, I like that I can reason my way through chess. Right, I can't really do that with a puzzle, but it was still cool. It's a different part
yeah,
of the brain, obviously. Yeah,
that's cool.
that was fun. So very random corner,
Well,
but that's it.
when did that
This was
happen?
on Saturday, literally 2 days ago.
This
Yeah,
past Saturday. Oh, how lucky we got that just this past Saturday and we get to hear
yeah,
about
it was fresh on my mind.
it. Over 3 months.
That's the only thing that
So,
happened. You go.
well, so I got to visit Ecuador, and for me, this is a big deal over the past 3 months because over the past 20 years, I haven't had a chance to see my family. So I got to go to Ecuador and visit them because they recently immigrated over to Ecuador,
From
and
where?
Venezuela.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
So we got to go visit and spend time with the family. Like, kind of felt like a family reunion. I mean, we hadn't seen each other in so dang long. So, um, yeah, man, we got to do all the typical Venezuelan things, but in a different country, and it was literally life changing, man. It was so good that I bought a ticket to go
Dude,
back
nice.
this May.
That's sick.
Yeah, I'll be going back May 18th. Excuse me, May 18th through the 31st.
What city in Ecuador?
Quito,
Quito
the capital.
with a Q, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, that's dope.
I can see you're
Yeah,
looking
of
it up
course I
now.
am.
That is
Any
much
chance to look
appreciated.
at a map, dude, I will take it. Don't you love maps?
I do
I
fuck with
mean, who
maps
doesn't?
hard.
If you're a guy,
Um,
you don't like maps. I don't really trust
Speaking
you.
of, I think we'll gain an appreciation for this. We did a lot of traveling when we were there as a family. One of the places that we went to was the literal center of the world.
No shit.
Latitude 0000,
Oh, dude, that's so
longitude
cool.
0000.
I see that. Yeah,
The center of the world.
it's in
Very
Quito.
fun. It is in Quito.
Oh,
It was only about an hour away from where we were staying, so it was a no-brainer for me. Thought that I'd
that
nerd
is
the fuck
awesome.
out when we were there.
Oh yeah, I like this density.
Dude, it was like, have you ever been to
I
Denver?
have been to Denver.
It was like Denver, but with even more mountains, more space, and more culture. I felt like Denver was more of a concrete jungle
Definitely,
compared to
yeah.
Quito. Quito is denser, more vibrant, dynamic. Really, really,
Probably
really
great
great
food too,
country.
right?
Love. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah,
Dude, I'm jealous.
yeah.
I South America is like the continent for me that I really want to visit that I haven't yet. I actually I was
Wow.
going to go in 2020 on a solo trip to Argentina, and then obviously that didn't happen.
Ooh,
And I've never made up for it, but that's really cool.
dang. Well, I hope you do. I think it's constantly slept on because there's so many um, landmarks and wonders of the world in South
Hmm.
America that people don't
Right.
realize.
And there's so many cool
And
cities.
yeah, it's cheap. In all of those cool
Exactly.
cities, it's dirt cheap.
Exactly.
Just getting there is the hard part. Yeah, man. Anyways, I think that'll do it. What do you say we just call it a pod?
I'd say it'd be a success.
Where are you watching Super Bowl?
Most likely here at home. We got invited to a party of one of our coworkers, but we're leaning towards not going because Noodle is kind of sick. Not in like a scary way, just a disgusting way. uh, like actually. And Jamie has an early flight out on Monday, so but we're not decided yet. But probably at home. What about you?
Yeah, we haven't decided yet either. Considering going with a friend over to a different friend's house and just kind of. Usually, I have like a little Super Bowl party,
Yeah,
but this year, our close friends will not be in attendance. Will not be in Austin, so
damn.
yeah, decided to just go tag along with somebody else's party. But wherever I go, kind of like you, I think I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity to sit down and watch the entire football game with no one interrupting me, just completely focused on the game. And I personally can't wait. I think it's going to be a banger of a
Same.
game. So I hope, yeah, dude, I hope you get a chance to do that. I hope it's fun. I hope I do too. And if we have time, maybe we'll pod, maybe we won't. We'll review the season, but until then, go Patriots.
Go Hawks.
Oh
Oh, can't
man.
wait for
All
the
right. Well,
halftime show, by the way. We got to at least mention it. It's a banger of a lineup.
oh yeah,
Green Day and
Bad
Bad
Bunny.
Bunny. Ridiculous. But yeah, it's going to
Yeah,
be
dude, that's
amazing.
gonna be fun. I'm a big fan of Bad Bunny, so yeah, that'll be fun to watch. Let's see how many people ICE detains throughout.
Oh, that should have been a betting question, actually.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah, it
terrible.
was.
Anyways, It's been real. Thanks for listening. And we know it's been a while, but we appreciate you listening. And yeah, until
Enjoy.
next time.